I want to talk about a dream I had last night. First, let me say it's very early. It's early in the morning. I just woke up. I just washed my hair, my face, and came to make the video before I forgot what I dreamt. And my dogs are still sleeping. Here's one. She don't want to be bothered. It's a very cold day, not as usual as here. We have like something around 3 to 5 degrees right now. I think at night was 3. Right now it's around 5 Celsius. So it is cold. The house is still warm because I ventilated it the evening yesterday, and it keeps warm for like 1 or 2 days, so it's still okay. So let me talk about the dream I had. It was quite different than usual. Today I was in last night I was in this western city. Probably, I don't know, some western city in the United States, wooden houses and stuff. The vehicles there were no cars or trucks. The vehicles were very strange. Some of the streets were very narrow. Others there was like a main street that connects to the road that goes to the city, and outside the city that was a wide street. But the rest of the streets were pretty narrow, and the houses were pretty well decorated and colorful. A lot of stuff all over the place, like chairs and the porch, and everything was really colorful. There was like this vintage stuff of Coca-Cola, and in some spots, I don't know why I considered that was kind of old or from the past. The vehicles were very, very strange, as I mentioned. Like 2 stories of height, and the driver was on the top. And the streets were very narrow, so it was like kind of complicated to pass through if there was a car parking in front of a house or something. And so in this place there was this military scrapyard, and they had in there, it was kind of a special scrapyard. They had rockets and spaceships, very damaged. None of them were completely functional. For some reason the government wanted to destroy them completely. They didn't want them to be partially functional, because probably they considered it was a threat to have those spaceships there. Functionals, they were functional, some of them. So what they did is that you go there and pay to buy some rockets that were actually part of the backyard also, and then they fly one of those spaceships. They put it to fly, and you shoot it down with those rockets. The fuel, of course, was something different. You needed to buy that. It was not part of the backyard. You need to bring that from the outside. So they give you instructions of what kind of fuel do you need for what kind of rocket that you were using, in order to fill the rocket and shoot it to the spaceships. So there was a lot of people there. It was like just flying one spaceship was quite of an event. It was not something that happens every day. There was one general that was in charge of this backyard, and he was also in charge of controlling which rockets you could use. So and at the end, I remember it was really a very strange dream. I remember something else. The roads, most of the roads, there was, as I mentioned, there was a main road and there were a lot of secondary roads. All the roads end up in some property. There was no reason for a road to exist if it doesn't go to a property. So the road that goes from the main street to this scrapyard was very narrow as well. But you have access directly. You kind of pass. Trying to remember how do you have access to the scrapyard. I don't remember how is it. It was like a wall made of also from scrap, and then you pass that place you enter, and there was all this kind of rockets and spaceships. But it was a very large quantity of them. Most of them were not functional, but there were a lot that actually work. So that's it. And something else that I was doing yesterday, I find a government site and I spend some time on it, just trying to figure out how it works and what things could I get from there. So I sent a couple of messages, wait and see if they respond. What else? But I spent most of the day with this app that's for polishing your accent and pronunciation. Sometimes it's frustrating. There are some words that I know that I don't pronounce properly, and there are others that I'm almost sure I'm doing it right, but the app's still telling me that I don't. So I need to pay more attention on that and see, because at the time before to make sure that the app was right and I was wrong, I used Google, and I made Google to pronounce it for me, just to double check if the app was correct. But last night I wasn't on the computer, I was on my bedroom with the phone just practicing, so I couldn't do that, and I end up just questioning me if I was right or wrong. So I don't know. As I mentioned, I still have not developed that sensitivity in my ears to tell the difference between certain types of O's or R's or stuff like that. I mean, I can hear it and understand it properly. The problem I have is when I try to pronounce them. It's like I don't have the brain connections or the muscle training to make a difference between one thing and the other. It's very hard. And it's probably going to take more years. All the time that I was practicing English, I paid more attention in understanding it and being able to write it. So for the last year, I was practicing the grammar and the orthograph. But now it seems that the next step is to go ahead with the pronunciation and the accent. And that's what I'm doing right now. And it's harder than, well, I'm doing it harder for myself actually. I have like 1 week free trial of the software, and I try to get as much as I can in that week. But I'm sure that if I use it properly, like 2 or 3 hours a day, or maybe 1 hour a day, like forever, it will be better than just trying to do everything in 1 week, which I'm sure I will not be able to do. But I'm taking notes and to the most common mistakes I made, and so I can keep that for me and keep practicing later. I think that's it. I just wanted to record this early in the morning so I can remember what I was dreaming, because it was a very strange dream. I never dreamed like that. It was very colorful and interesting, by the way. Thank you. Bye.